This is your journey. You don't have to sit here and take in people's snide comments and snide remarks. Oh, is she ever gonna go to law school? Ignore that and run your race and go when you are ready to go.
I may be young, but I'm ready to give you all my love.
Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Michelle Amaray, and if you are new here, hi, hello, welcome to my channel. So I know it's been a quick minute since I've been on YouTube, but honestly, law school has been doing its thing. I'm a 1L at the University of Texas School of Law currently, and we're in final season, so it's definitely crunch time and things are definitely getting crazier. But I decided to come on here because I wanted to share with you guys 10 things I wish I knew prior to applying to law school and really just beginning this entire journey. I know with it being December and like the holiday season and stuff, this is a really important time for law school hopefuls. Some of y'all are probably still working on applications and submitting things. Some of you guys have already started hearing back. And some of you guys might have already begun the process of trying to figure out which school you're gonna go to. So I thought it was pretty timely to come on here and kind of give advice that I wish that I would have known a year ago from today. But before we go into that, this video is kindly sponsored by Ana Luisa Jewelry. This is my second time working with Ana Luisa, and honestly, I am a big fan of their jewelry pieces. Actually, I've been wearing their jewelry pieces throughout my 1L year. I've worn them to networking events, I've worn them to interviews, and I'll continue to wear them because they're so beautiful, so minimalist, and they just look really, really nice and high quality. And if you know anything about me, I'm a super big traveler. I love traveling, which is why I love the packaging of their jewelry pieces. They come in these nice little bags that you can easily just put your stuff in. And not only is it convenient as a traveler, but it also speaks to their desire to be a sustainable brand and really create packaging that can be reusable and not hurt the earth. Now, going into the pieces, this is the first piece I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. It's just these beautiful golden earrings, and they have like this little pearl detailing on the bottom. I just think they look really cute, and they're just such a really cute piece to kind of throw on with any outfit. Now, the next piece I want to share with you guys is the Michelle necklace, named after me. Just kidding. But this is how it looks. It's a 3-tiered necklace set, which I think is really cute and gives you the flexibility to kind of wear it in different styles. Maybe you might want to wear 1 or 2 at a time. So I really, really do love that. And this is how it looks up close. Now, the last piece that I have to share with you guys is this really beautiful necklace piece. I love the green emerald detailing. I'm gonna keep it on for the rest of this video to kind of go along with the Christmas vibe, but it is also a 2-tiered necklace, which is also great because it gives you that flexibility to wear it just the way you want to wear it. And this is how it looks close up. They're actually running their biggest sale of the year, where you buy one and you get another jewelry piece 60% off. So definitely go ahead and check them out. All right, diving right into our video. I am currently, like I said, a 1L at the University of Texas School of Law. And I think with like these 2 or 3 months that I've been in school, I've definitely have gained some insight that I wish to share. Advice I wish I truly heeded prior to starting law school, and just things that would have been really nice to know prior to even applying to school. So I really do hope that regardless of what position you're in right now, that this video will be really, really instrumental and beneficial in terms of just giving you greater insight into this journey and what you need to know for success within it. Now, for those of you who followed me from like my LSAT days, this journey has definitely not been easy. Like, I've definitely experienced my fair share of, struggles and difficulties with even trying to get into law school. And so now that I'm here, I'm truly realizing that yes, prestige is important, but as much as you're striving to get into these top schools and, maybe it's an Ivy degree or a T14 degree or whatever the case may be for you, really consider your happiness at wherever you're going. Because don't get me wrong, the legal field is a very elitist industry, and so where you go does matter. But at the same time, your T14 degree doesn't serve you well if you're not a happy and balanced individual. In retrospect, I wish I really took into account, happiness factors. And I feel like I did to a certain extent, but I think I overlooked certain things that are really important to me. But some things to take into consideration are truly like weather, the vibe of the city you're going to. If you're going to a completely different city, go and scope it out. Don't be that person that experiences the city for the first time when you start school there and you're moving in. I think that's just a really bad decision to make. The second thing I wish I really took into account is the distance to your support system. Some people are truthfully more family oriented than others. For some, it's really important to be able to take a 2-hour drive home and see your family and kind of regroup and get the strength you need to push through law school. Others, that's not so important. Some people are fine with going to a new city that they don't know anybody, don't have any kind of connection or family to. But I'd really advise taking some time to really speak to yourself and be real with yourself. Will you really be able to thrive and do well in a completely new environment, knowing that you're not necessarily close to the people you love and the support system you already have? Because yes, it's great to come into law school and think that you're gonna find your network there. But the truth of the matter, especially as a 1L and as a 1L in your first semester, everybody's pretty kind of like focused on doing their best. You're in a new environment. You're trying to adjust to the workload and the schoolwork and all of that. It's not college. It's not high school where everyone comes in and they're just like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna be best friends forever from like day one and stuff. Like you're in a professional environment. Some people are married, some people have kids. Priorities are kind of different for people at this area in this stage of their life. So it might pose some difficulties with trying to create that network and that really sturdy friend group that's gonna keep you grounded throughout your time in law school. And hopefully you find those people, but I wouldn't bank on finding that your first semester. So how important is it for you to be around people that you already have invested that time in building those kind of relationships with in order to set yourself up for success your first semester in law school? And we all know that's an extremely important semester. My third point is to really reflect on the cost of law school and what you are willing to spend. And not just financially, but mentally too, physically as well. Maybe you have other interests and other passions in life. These are 3 years that, law school is going to consume a great deal of your time. And especially as a 1L, it's really going to consume a great portion of your time. Think about, are you really at a place where you're willing to devote that kind of time to this right now? And even beyond that, finances. I think that's an extremely important point to really consider. I've never been that person who's even now, I'm not really financially literate. I don't do budgets. If I want it, give it to me. I'm not the most financially savvy person. But now that I'm in school, I'm looking at the reality of the kind of debt that I am responsible for. It's really something not to take lightly. And although I'm not KJD, I think that the time that I took off from school, and I only took off 2 years before I started law school, I just did whatever I wanted. I traveled and I just did whatever I wanted to do. So I never had that experience of getting a job, being responsible for a bill, my parents take care of me or my fiance takes care of me. I just have never been responsible fully for myself. And I think being in that kind of mind frame kind of sets you back a little bit when it comes to financial maturity, because I see numbers and they don't really mean much to me. But now as I'm getting older and I'm really seeing bigger numbers, I'm oh, that's how much that costs. I legit don't even pay a phone bill. So really take into account, try to be more mature about finances and really consider, is this something you want to do? Is this a debt that you really want to take on? Segueing into my next point, really take the time to do research into the legal field. I feel like the legal industry is pretty unique in that you don't really get a full picture idea of what you're getting into until you like really get into it. And so I feel like a lot of us just kind of go through life, I want to be a lawyer, not really knowing what like the day-to-day of like being a lawyer consists of and what that looks like. Oh, I want to do big law. Not hearing and really opening your mind to hearing some experiences that people have in this industry. Really take this time to look into the legal field and look at what is of interest to you, what you feel like is something that you'd be able to handle. And truthfully, no matter how much research you do, you're not gonna really have a complete and 100% accurate idea of what's going on until you get there. And I'm saying this as a 1L, I feel like I'm really not gonna understand what, big law or working for a nonprofit would look like until I'm there at these internships or summer associateships doing the work. But irrespective of that, really take some time to ask yourself, do I even want to be a lawyer? And I know it's funny and people make jokes, especially like I see on TikTok, like, oh, I'm just getting this little legal degree because so that no one can really talk mess about me when I'm a housewife. Like, this is just for fun and cutesies and stuff like that. If you're truly that person, sis, like think twice, maybe 3, 4, 5 times before coming into law school and just getting a degree for the sake of getting a degree. Debt is real. The time cost, the emotional cost, the mental, psychological cost is real. You don't want to come in, find yourself in like, 50K, 100 something K debt and realize you don't even want to be a lawyer, or come in here and take on a really big debt to a school and realize maybe big law isn't for me and I'm gonna kind of be stuck with this huge debt and a job that doesn't necessarily pay as well, trying to pay this debt off for I don't know how many years. So really take the time to crunch those numbers, ask people about their experiences, and really be informed about this big decision you're taking. And I'll go ahead and say I'm one of those people who kind of grew up and was like, yeah, I want to be a lawyer because what else am I going to do? I hate blood, I can't do math and science, and I like money. So, it just works out. And that's really stupid if I tell you the truth. That's a really dumb mindset to have. So really have something more concrete and know why you're in this industry. My next point, and one that's really, really important to me, really, and I know everybody tells you this, but really take the time to take care of yourself and take care of your health. Get things in order prior to starting law school. Whether that be cutting off a toxic relationship, whether that is learning how to set up boundaries with maybe some toxic family members and knowing that that kind of relationship can really negatively impact you in law school. Whatever the case may be, get that ish sorted out before you start law school. Because there is literally like no way to really handle that on top of the hell of 1L and try to juggle the two and make it work. You're just going to make life insanely difficult for yourself. Prior to starting law school, I went and got therapy, and that was amazing for me to help work through certain issues and certain things I needed help with. And I recommend doing that if that's something you need to get done for various issues. If you have anxiety issues, depression issues, like literally if that stuff isn't controlled, law school is going to do nothing but like exemplify those issues, and it's going to hurt you so much. And I would hate to see anybody in that situation. Mental health is so real. There are real circumstances and situations of people starting this journey and not ending due to mental health issues. In some situations, people are losing their lives. The legal industry in general has pretty high rates of like suicide, anxiety, depression. Like, take care of yourself prior to starting this journey and really make sure that you're at a stable and healthy place where you can start it, because law school will take a toll on you and it can really be detrimental to your health if you're not at a decent place prior to starting. This is really real stuff, and I really hope if anything y'all take from this video, please heed this advice. And on that note, segueing to my next point, really ask yourself if this is the right time for you to go to law school. People from all different walks of life at all different places in their lives start law school. I literally am in classes where, I don't know, the youngest person is probably a KJD and like the oldest has a PhD. So there are people from so many different backgrounds. It is never too late to start law school. So if this cycle isn't your time to start, so be it. I thought I was gonna start right after I graduated, and then I thought I was gonna start the following year, and I ended up waiting 2 years, and I started law school when it was the right time for me. This is your journey. You don't have to sit here and take in people's snide comments and snide remarks. Oh, is she ever gonna go to law school? Ignore that and run your race and go when you are ready to go, because at the end of the day, they're not gonna be the people taking those exams for you. That debt isn't gonna be under their name. So go when you're best prepared and you're ready to really put in your full effort and really make the most of your time there. And I will say, even for me, I think I could have gone another year before I started law school. Another year to take more time to learn about myself, learn about my interests, what I wanted in life, try other things, dabble in other industries, fail at some things. Like, I really wish I took more time. And this is somebody who's in law school. So don't feel rushed and don't feel pressed to start if you truly aren't at a place where you feel ready. Now, the next thing I wish I knew around this time was this idea not to allow your idea of a dream school to define your sense of who you are, your value, and your ability to succeed in this industry. I didn't get into my dream school, and if you go back and look at some of my other videos and stuff, my dream school was Harvard since I was like 8. I ended up getting waitlisted, but even on the wait list, I went ahead and I took myself off of it because I was fully content with going to UT Law, and where I am in my life, it just made way more sense for me. So it's great to have a dream school, but allow yourself to be flexible. Allow yourself to truly give some time and consideration into other options. And if you're like me, and you're the kind of person who's like, this is what I want, that's all I want, and I'm not looking at anything else, let go of that mindset, at least temporarily, for this experience. Because had I maintained that mindset, I literally wasn't gonna apply to UT at first, because I was like, I don't want to go there, I don't want to stay in Texas. But it just so ended up being the perfect choice for me. My family's here, I'm engaged, I'm gonna get married while I'm in law school and stuff. It made the most sense for me. They gave me a great scholarship package. So allow yourself to remain flexible. Dream schools are great, but it's not the end of the world if that option doesn't end up working out for you. Now, the last thing I wish I knew before even applying to law school is that it's okay if after all the different things I've talked about in this video, you took some time to ponder on these different things and you just come to the realization that maybe law school isn't for you. That is okay. It is a-okay. You will be fine. The legal field just naturally attracts high achieving individuals, goal-oriented individuals. And sometimes not seeing your goal play out the way you envisioned it playing out feels like failure. But if I can be truly honest, true failure to me is expending your resources, your time into something that you don't gain anything from, into something that you're not passionate about, that you spent your time, your precious years pursuing something that ultimately will not make you happy and make you the person that you envision yourself being. That to me is true failure. So if it just so happens throughout this process that you just feel at your core that law school just isn't for you, give yourself the space to, one, grieve that vision and that idea of what you thought you wanted. And two, acknowledge how much bravery it took for you to walk away from a path that isn't for you. Because let me just go ahead and say, some of the most miserable people in the legal industry, and I feel like in the legal field, are people who know this isn't for them and they're not meant to be here, but are choosing to just put up with it for the sake of finances, prestige, and all that extra stuff. At the end of the day, we all die. And it's such a morbid thing to say, but it's the truth. And life is too short to spend it pursuing something or doing something that you ultimately do not enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it kind of gave you insight into this entire process. And I just wish you guys the best in anything and everything you do. Please go ahead and give this video a like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
You a bad girl and your friends bad too. Oh, you got the swag, saucy drippin' swag.